Yeah, myself Adinarayanan, and in this section 5, so we are going to discuss about passing parameter to a method in other class. So in the previous session, we saw how to pass parameter to other method in the same class. Nothing different, nothing different. And also we are going to see returning a value from a method. When you call a method, it will return a value and you are going to assign that value to a variable. So these are the two things that we are going to see in this session 5. So go here, and this is a so example that we saw in our section 4. Now we are going to see how to pass parameter to a method in other class. One and the same, nothing going to be different. So if we want to do some example for this, then we need to create two classes. So, okay, first I am going to create a class called any name, any name, uh, any name. What is the name that I can AC account, ACC, OANT account, NAMAGENT account management. So as you know, this is a proper class. This is a proper class. It has a modifier class, class name, and starting and closing, and also this class is inside this package, meaning inside this folder. So in Java we call this as a package. It's nothing but a folder. That is okay. So when if you see where does this class resides in our laptop, go to properties. So where is FWS? Go to F colon. What I do, no, right click on the project. It's a folder, but in this Eclipse, we call it as a project. Right click, properties, and see location. FWS, TREFSD. Go here. Okay. FWS, FSD, Neo Banking, and SRC, COM, Neo Bank, iBanking, basic. So parameter passing here. It is in this folder. The same thing it is showing here. Okay, anyway. So now create a method which will accept two parameter or three parameters. In our case, okay, we will go with the three parameters. That is, create a method with three argument or three parameters. Okay, I'm going to create a method called add anything, three arguments. So three argument something int or double anything int int. So this is data type and M1, Mark 1, so Mark 2, and Mark 3. We created a method with three arguments. So we are getting error why always a method should have return type VO, IDY. So now we created a one method, but there is no instruction inside this method. There is no instruction inside this method, and we created one method in this class. We may not be able to run this class as this class does not contain main method with string array as argument. Already we saw many times. String array with argument. What are these arguments? This method contains three arguments with integer. First one integer, second one also integer, third one also integer. Third one can be double, 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 anything, any data type, double, long, anything. Okay. Okay. So it can be any data type. As of now, we will make it as INT, anything. It can be any data type. Already showed you what are the data types available in Java. Go to Java 3.1 And if you say Java, see here, Java data types, and click this one. So when you read this document, see here, I'm using int, int, that is double, double, float, long. You can use any data type, boolean, character, byte, string, int, long. See what is int? Here, if you see int 4 byte, 2 byte, 1 byte, 2 byte, 1 byte. So you see what is this byte, bit, byte, all the things. Data type, data type. Okay, you can see this one. Okay, now so we created one method which contains three arguments or three data types. So the selected one int is a data type, and m1 is the variable name. You can call it as a variable or variable name, one of the same. So normally you call it as a variable. M1 is a variable, int is a data type. M2 is a variable, and int is a data type. Same way, M3 is a variable, and int is the data type. Okay. Okay. So what is our intention of this method? Just multiply or add all this number and display in the screen. So that is the instruction that is given to you. So you are going to write a method which contains three arguments. So someone will call this method with the three arguments. They will send the value. Here you have three arguments separated by comma. Here you have three arguments and separated by comma. Someone should call this method with three values. Three values. Value for M1, value for M2, and value for M3. Value for M1, value for M2, and value for M. Someone should call this method with the three values. They cannot call with the two value or one value or four value. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to add. Already you know how to add M1 plus M2 plus M3. So, so your JVM will add all these three values and it should store right. So something. Then that's why STEM system dot out dot PRMTLM system dot out dot println. Okay, control shift. So we wrote one method. We wrote one method. What is the method name? What is the method name? Add new. What is the return type? Void. We are going to see a return type, some other return type. We saw only void as a return type, but we are going to see some other return type in the next example. So three arguments. We are adding all the added should be assigned here. If you are not doing this, what will happen? So your JVM add M1 plus M2 plus M3, where it is going to store. So variable, that's why I told you in the beginning of the sessions, in previous sessions. So always variable will hold the value, either intermediate value or the value that you assigned. So now the intermediate value. So control int into su equal to already the control. Okay. Now, so now we are going to call this method from some other class. So now create another one class. ACC OU account any name. So to be meaningful, CLI. So we will create a method called public static void main with string. Okay, so now the class is created. So if you want to call a method in other class, what you should do? So if you want to call a method in other class, what is the first step? Class to class communication. If one class want to communicate with other class, then you need to create object. So if you want to call a method in the same class, you no need to create object. So we won't be doing something like this. No need. But from static method, you can call only static method, and from a non-static method, you can call static method or other method. So that's one. From a static method, if you want to call other method in the same class, then you need to create object and call. Most probably we won't do that. So just for a practical purpose, just we are creating object for the same class. Leave that, don't confuse now. Okay, now if one class want to communicate with other class, meaning if I want to call a method in other class, if I want to access a variable in other class, then I should create object for the class to which I want to communicate. Which class I want to communicate now? Account management. ACCOUNT account. MANAGEMENT account management. So this is the class and make a new operator NEW. Now JVM. Now JVM will create an object in RAM. You know, no, in our desktop we have RAM. So now JVM will create an object. Nothing it creates. Will allocate a memory space. So 2 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM. So we used to tell no, in that RAM, it is going to allocate some memory space and all the variables and method in this class. All the variables and method in this class will be part of that object. To be more precise, only variable and the value. But as of now, think it of as that object is going to contain uh, the variable values, variable and method variable values. So now an object is created. If it is object is created, then it will give you the address in the memory space. After this statement executes, after this statement executes, an object is created. That is an address and memory area is allocated, and this statement will return a address. So where you are going to store the address? Store it in a variable. What should be the variable type? Class name is the variable type. Okay. Now assign it to a variable, any name, any name, any name. So what is the data type? Data type should be your class. See, cannot be resolved to any type. Go here, account management, Control C, Control S, Control V. So capital M. I'm missing that one. See here. So after this, when your JVM run this line, what will happen? Yeah, memory space will be created in the RAM, and this one new operator creates the memory space, not this one. This one create a memory space by using all the values inside this class, okay. Now a memory space is created after this line executes. Whatever I highlighted, a memory space is created in the RAM, and all the variable and method will be part of that object. Okay, will be part of that object. So what is this one then? So in the RAM, 5G RAM, 10 GB RAM. So that address where your object is created, that address, this will return an address. We are going to store that address in this variable, in this variable. So this variable is pointing to a address space in the RAM that we call it as object. This variable is going to point to an address space in the RAM, and we are calling that as object. So this is a reference variable pointing to an object. So what does it do? It creates an area in the RAM. What does it do? It creates an area in the RAM. We call it as an object. So the address will be returned, and we are going to capture this here, and this is the variable type. This can be either anything, anything, anything. Okay. Now, now what we do? So this by using this one object. What is inside that object? All variables and method are inside the object. All variables and method. All variables and method of this class. What are the variables available inside this method? No variable available. Only methods are available. See here, only variables are available. Only one method is available. Only one method is available. No variable. So if you want to declare a variable, declare a variable. Int input prin loan amount LOA LOAN loan AMOUNT loan amount equal to you are hard coding some value. So when you create an object, control wait or okay. Okay. So this object now what will be inside this? So actually it is referring an object, right? This is a reference variable. Variable we call it as a reference variable because it is pointing to the memory area. It is holding the address it is holding the address where your actual object is. Where your actual object is. Okay. If you ask what is an object, this is a memory area which contains this class code and variable with values. Okay. Now so if you want to assess a variable or a method in the object, then you are going to use reference variable dot because that object contain all your methods and variable, right? See here, that's it. Okay, so how many arguments are in that method? See here, how many arguments? One, two, three. So you need to pass three value. If you want to call, you may not be able to call empty. The empty, no, you are getting error. Why? You are getting error here. See here, go on place here. The method add number in the type account management is not applicable for the argument empty argument. Okay. So here, no, so this method, so you are trying to call this method. If you see here, this method contains three arguments. You need to send three values. Then only you can call. So send three value. What are the three values that this method is expecting? What are the three values that this method is expecting? Three value, all integer value, three value, all integer, whole number, not with a decimal point. So what I do is, and mark one, let me give it as 40. So we are sending, this is value, we are sending value. You can call a method with the value that your method is expecting. Okay. So for example, I make it as 79, 48, 92. Okay. Now there is no error. If I make 92.5, it will show an error. Why it is showing an error? Because this method is expecting a value of integer, not double or float, not with the fractional values, whole number. So when you see here, this one will hold integer and long will hold only whole number, whereas this one will hold float, double will hold a fractional value like 66.5, 8 point something. So that's the difference. That's why this method is expecting you to send only integer, three integers. So, but you are trying two integer, one not an integer because it's a whole number. So that's why you're getting error. So, so you are going to call this method with three values, three parameters, three values. Send, okay, call the method with three parameter, call the method with three parameter, write a method with three argument or three parameter, write a method, write a method with three argument or three parameter, call the method with three values, call this method three value or parameter, call this parameter. So you can, hereafter you can tell, create a method with three argument. Okay, call the method with three parameters, not three arguments. Call the method with three value or three parameters. Call the method with three value or three parameters. Write a method with three arguments. You should be able to do. Tomorrow, if I tell, okay, create a class, write a method with three argument, make these are the data type, and this is the logic that you need to implement, then you should be able to write. Okay, now we'll see what is the output. So when I call this, what will be the output? Controllers. If I call, so can I run this program? Can I run? No, we cannot run this program by using JVM. So only the program which contains main method we can run. But we can call that program and you can execute by using this program. Okay. Right click, run as Java application. See here, you got the amount 29. Say for example, if you are going to make it as oh, 70, 50, and 100. So what is should be the value? 220, right? 220 or 270? 220. 220, right? You got the answer. We created object for the target class for the class, and we call the method with the three values, with the three values, with the three values. See here, and if you go and translate. So now you learned how to pass values to the method, how to pass values to the method. Either you can do something like this or else you can do m ma1 equal to 23 control C, one and the same, control V, control V. So int int, int int, int int, int int, and 2, and 2. Now you know what is the value of MA1? What is the value of MA1? 23. What is the value of MA2? So what is the value of MA1? 80. What is MA1? Variable. Variable name, variable. What is MA2? Variable. What is the value? 40. What is the variable? MA3. What is the value? 100. What is this one? Data type. What kind of value that you are going to store. So you define it as integer. It is only can store a whole number. If I try to store 80.56, you are getting error. You are getting error. Int MA1 equal to 80.56. Why? Because the data type integer cannot hold the value fractional value. It cannot hold dot 56. Either 80, 90, 81, 82, 82. If I make this as DOUBLE, then error will go. Error one because double can store fractional values. FLO80 float controllers cannot convert a float. Make it as yeah. It got confused. That's W. Now, now you defined a variable called MA1 as float. So you can store 80.56. So float number, float value. So 80.56 or anything, fractional value. So if you store this also it will work. This also it will work. But it will always treat as 40.0. But it is always treat as 40.0. Okay. So now if you want to pass all these three values, say for example, if you want to pass all these three values, okay, okay, then you can do MA1, MA1 here, MA2, MA3, 40, 40, 180. Your answer will be 180. So now I am assigning the value to the variable. Then I am giving the variable name. So if I give the variable name, actually the value will go, not this variable. Actually the value will go. So what is the value of MA1 40? 40 will be transferred to here. Now the value of M1 will be 40. So that's how you have to understand. Here, actually the content will go, not the variable. When you specify the variable, the content, what is the content of MA1 40? Value content 40. What is the value of MA2? Again 40, you can make it as 50 something, 50. Okay, now it's 190. So here in this scenario, variable is not passed, you are passing the content. There is something called pass by value and pass by address. We will think of that. Now all the things went the content. Okay, value. So we will read what is passed by value and passed by address. Now as of now, think of the value which is mu1. The value is passed there. The value is passed there. Okay. Now if I run, what should be my answer? 190. We got 190. One on the same. Okay. Anyway. So one on the same. Either you can run in that. Either you can give actual value. So 100, 50, 92. So if you make double, if you comment, this won't be run by JVM command. This line won't be executed by the JVM. So this only will get executed and you will get a result as something 223. You run this one. So see here. So normally no, we send a value from the screen and we will, and here we will retrieve all the value, then we pass this value there and that's how it works. So anyway, you understand. Next one, what we are going to try to do is, next one, we are trying to return a value from the print. So where the printing is happening? Printing is happening here, right? Where printing is happening? Printing is happening here, account management. In account management class, so you are printing, you are adding the value and printing. Now I don't want to print here. I want to print from the caller. Who is the caller? Here, who is the caller? Account management CLI is the caller. Account management CLI is the caller. Is the caller. I want to print the value here. I want to print the value here. So then how can we do this? When you call this method, method should return the value. So we will change. We will write another one. Okay, now it works. Okay. Okay. So now, okay. Now what we can do? I will write another one class or else return the value in the sense. Okay. So here I will write another one method. Let me write another one method which will return a value. This method does not return any value, and here is something MUL CAN something MUL. So now what I do know, I don't want to print here. I remove this one. I want to return. So after this calculation, what is the integer right? This one integer right. I want to return. This puts the, actually this one SU, this SU, CAL something. The CAL or COT. This QOT contains the actually calculated value. So I want to return this value to the caller. Who is the caller? Account management CLI, and there is a caller. I want to return. So RETURN, return COT. Now this method will do all the calculations and it will return the value. So here we are getting error. See why we are getting error? See here, void method cannot return. So what is the data type of this value? What is the data type of this value? What is the data type of this value? Int. See here, int. So, so you mention here int. You are returning this data type. You are returning this variable, right? Always you will return some value. So that is a variable. So if you are going to return this one, what is the you should mention the data type of this variable here. That's the thing. Now the error went. If I remove this one, if I make double, then it is an error. See here what is double because it is large numbers taking string. We will come to know about why. See here why cannot convert from integer to string. You are returning an integer, but you mention data type as return type. Return type as string. Wrong. Int. Your return variable data type should match. Okay then when you call this method, it is going to do all the calculation. Finally it is going to return. Go here. When you call this one, it is returning. So capture that value. How will you capture that value? When you call the method, so not this method, object, control V. I will command this one, right? I will command this one. Okay. When I call this method called, when I call this one, this method, right? This method is returning a value. Capture that value. Capture that value equal to capture. What is the data type int there? What it is returning? It is returning a value of integer. So capture that and do something. So this is MA1, MA2, MA3. System 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 dot out dot println. Okay, now this will not get executed because we commented it. This also we commented it slash slash. If you uncommand, this line also will get executed. So now this line will get executed by JVM. Then this line, when you call this method, it goes there and here it comes here. This value, all the three value will be copied to here, and it is adding. It is adding here. Then it is returning. Two things you are understand. Return type. You change the return type, and you are returning using the return keyword. Return keyword will return. When you call this one, this method will return a value. Go here. So then we are capturing the value. How will you capture? By using equal to sign and declare the variable. What kind of variable? Don't type your string. If you type your string, string, you will get an error. See here. This method returns integer. This method returns integer, but you are making it a string. Wrong. Return type. What kind of value that you are going to return, and the type should be same. And you print it ed. Okay. Now you can print it. Control S. From main method. Okay. Control S. Let me run this one. You got right. When I run, it will come here. Three value assigned. Then an object is created, and you are calling the method. This is another class. Method is another class. Okay, this is account management client, and you are creating object for account management. Okay. Okay. Then names can be anything. Then you are calling method. This method is returning, whereas this method is not returning anything. This method is not returning anything, right? Add num is not returning anything. Return, then you are capturing. That's why here we are not capturing because this method is not returning anything. That's why we are not capturing. Here you are capturing the value that is returned, that will be returned by the method. So now run this one. If you want, you can change the value 240, right? 230. You got from the main. See here, from the main, and you are printing this DD. You are printing this DD. Now you learn two concepts. To call a method in other class, pass value, and another one return. You can return the value from your caller, from your method, from your method, and you can capture. Here we are capturing and printing the value. So now you learn two things: to pass value to the method, and if that method returns value, you know how to capture. Two things: passing value to other method and capturing the value. So we capture here, and it's very very important. So pass by address and pass by value, we will see. You don't need to get too much of confusion. Now you got an idea, I think so. Session 3, 4, 5 deals with all these things. Session 3, Session 4, and Session 5. Very important. So very important. Next one we will see. Actually, we are hard coding this value, right? Actually, this value should be, we can also get this value from a user. Next, we will see how to get the value from the user and do the calculation. Mark, we are hard coding 40, 90, 100, but you can use scanner. There is a scanner class available as part of Java, and you can use that and get the input from the user, and accordingly we can do that. Okay, so now you learned two concepts: passing value to the method arguments, and also returning the value. You use return keyword, and you use return keyword, and also you change the return data type, return type. Okay, so I think we can get. Okay, thanks for your time. We can meet in next section.